With us now from Washington to break this all down is editor-in-chief of The Hill, back again with us, Bob Cusack. Okay, Bob, I want to ask you, what are these poll numbers doing? They're all over the place. Just in the last month, even in particular states, they show different polling, different numbers. Is there any sort of trend we can tell from these numbers?
Well, they're very inconsistent. There's no doubt about that. In 2012 presidential election, they were very accurate. But I think as you've seen, vanishing landlines, that's a factor. Cell phones being more predominant. Also, there's a Trump factor, I think, that some Trump voters don't tell pollsters that they're going to vote for Trump, and some Democrats acknowledge that that's probably true. So that's why I think that different polls are showing vastly different things. We've seen Florida go from Clinton way up almost 20 points, and now the latest one is Trump ahead in the state. So it's a very volatile race, but at the same time, I think part of the volatility is because Trump had a terrible August, and really Hillary Clinton has had a very, very rough September.
And in many ways, Bob, this is Trump's election to lose. It's rare for a party to hang on to the White House for a third term. There is a lot of economic strife in rural parts of the country, even though new census data information out this week indicated gains in the more urban parts of America. What did you make of Trump's economic speech last hour here in New York, where he laid out some specifics as far as his tax code, credits for people who have child care costs, and a cut of the business tax rate?
I think it's part of a pivot, honestly, that he's done on the child care proposal as well as on taxes. Now, the one factor that gets conservatives nervous is that tax reform, Republicans used to say, okay, tax reform should be revenue neutral. Trump's plan and other recent Republican plans would trigger significant deficit spending. So that is something that conservatives don't like, and liberals are also pointing out. So, but overall, I think this is a smart thing to be talking about the economy. People, 7 in 10 Americans think the country's going in the wrong direction despite that optimistic data. And President Obama is making the case, listen, we've made some major progress. We have more work to do in a big speech this week. But if you listen to Hillary Clinton, it's not exactly the same message. She has a different message that's more, we have a lot more work to do because of that sentiment that the country is not doing great economically.
Speaking of Hillary Clinton, Bob, she returns to the campaign trail today. She'll be in North Carolina. And this is after her pneumonia diagnosis, that really devastating video of her knees buckling at the September 11th memorial. And then there were her comments that she made about half of Trump's supporters being a basket of deplorables. What kind of ground does she have to make up after this week?
Well, she's lost some ground, there's no doubt. And the visual of those knees buckling and several people helping her into that vehicle was very, very tough for her and her campaign, coupled with the basket of deplorables comment, which certainly has triggered memories of Mitt Romney's 47% remark in 2012, which was devastating to Romney's campaign. So I think it's smart for Trump. He's been more measured. He hasn't mocked her health. He did have one comment last night, but he's focused on the basket of deplorables remark. And I think all eyes are going to be on Hillary Clinton today. I think what you're going to see from her, she's going to show a lot of energy. She needs to prove, okay, I am okay. And I can give a speech day after day after day. She can't afford any other type of health issues, or Democrats who are, a lot more nervous than they were a couple weeks ago are going to be in complete panic mode.
And in order for Donald Trump to benefit from the momentum behind him now and the recent gains that he's made, he really needs to stay on message. However, you have this mounting pressure for him to release his tax returns and show proof of the tens of thousands of dollars of donations he says he's made through the Trump Foundation from his own pocket. You have Donald Trump Jr., though, saying that releasing Donald Trump's tax return would result in 12,000 pages for people to sift through, distracting from Trump's message. And today saying in a radio interview in Philadelphia that the media is biased toward Hillary Clinton, and if Donald Trump behaved the way she did, they would, quote, be warming up the gas chambers. How fragile is Donald Trump's lead, considering remarks like that are being made?
Oh, I believe it's very fragile. There's no doubt about it. There's several things that Hillary Clinton has going for her. Number one, the demographics of the country and her lead over Donald Trump among minority voters, Latinos, African Americans. Trump has to do better in those areas in order to clinch this thing. Overall, though, those type of comments, the tax returns, they're going to come up in probably each of the 4 debates, one vice presidential that start September 26th. You know, this is not going to go away for Trump, so it is a distraction. However, at the same time, when people, everyday Americans, are talking about the issues they care about, they're talking about the economy, they're talking about tax policy, they're talking about immigration, tax returns, and the fact that he hasn't released them yet. Has it helped him? No. Has it been devastating to his campaign? No, not yet.
Okay. Bob Cusack in Washington. Bob, thank you.
Thank you.